this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. Once again, it is Sovereign Saturday. Build your knowledge base. Now, I've probably talked about this before, but you know how I do. I'm gonna keep talking about some things. I'm just gonna hammer some things in. But here's the thing. Build your knowledge base. As a sovereign man, you can't go through the world not knowing stuff. Build your knowledge base. The more you know, the better. They say knowledge is power. It's really applied knowledge is power, but you have to have that knowledge to begin with. And you need to build it any way that you can. Now, you see behind me, I got a ton of books. I love to read. But, you know, in the age of social media, you can learn a lot there. I've had some people in my inner circle, they would send me videos or something really talking about something important. Even, you know, as much as I call like the mainstream news media propaganda sometimes you can learn something there. Big way is also building your knowledge, just hanging out with some people, just knowing how people going to behave, paying attention to people, whatever the case. I would suggest doing all of those things in order to build your knowledge, in order to know, because if you're talking about being sovereign, one of the things is you're going to have stuff that's going to come against you. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. You're going to have stuff. And then what I mentioned about the mainstream news media presenting propaganda, you also get that misinformation and stuff on social media. One thing with your knowledge base, you need to be able to sift through all the stuff that's out there. If you have knowledge, you can't be fooled. Like, I don't care what the situation is, dig into it. Dig into it. Like, if you get some information or something about something, okay, just be like, okay. And this is what I do. This is what I do. I take it in and I just hold it. I don't take it as gospel until I'm able to explore it. In fact, I've even said that about what I've said on any of my channels. I said, you don't have to automatically believe me. Go check it out for yourself. That's how you build knowledge. That's how you build it. You have to find it. Don't just listen to people. I don't care what they say, including myself. Go out there and look for it. Go check it out yourself. Explore it. And remember what I said. Yeah, I got a bunch of books, but then you have some books, some people who read a bunch of books, but then they don't understand people. You can get knowledge just by listening to someone. And that could be anyone, really. Yeah, it could be anyone, because remember the principle of, you know, just taking the knowledge in and then checking it out for yourself. You know, somebody who, they might be going through some stuff. They might be homeless or something. They might be able to provide you with knowledge, if at the very least, how not to be homeless. You know, I've gotten a lot of knowledge from drug users. You know, because they were dropping some knowledge on me. Like this one drug user said, oh yeah, I could go anywhere and find drugs. No matter where I go, I know what to look at. So I was just listening to him talk. Now somebody would say, well, why'd you listen to a drug user? Because he was providing knowledge on the subculture of people who get into using drugs. He was providing knowledge. Now, I'm not going to use drugs, but then I have that knowledge with me, you know? And, you know, anybody who's followed me on my Deep Thought channel know I'm very interested in subcultures, communities, things of that nature. I always said if I were to go back to school and get a PhD, it would be in sociology, and I would have a concentration on subcultures. If you know how different people are going to behave and everything, boom. You know, I'm paying attention to the people, different social classes, different social classes, different religions, how they're going to do some stuff. That's knowledge right there. That's a powerful knowledge if you know people. Because let me talk about that. You always want to understand people. Because those are the people, they either going to help you in your sovereignty with whatever, or they're going to try to come against you. A lot of people are going to try to come against you. They're going to be like, they're going to be like, well, no, you should get that regular job, or you should just follow, or whatever. You trying to tell them you trying to be sovereign, or you trying to be one of those sovereign men or something, and they talking about those people who going against the law and everything. And in fact, that's a knowledge base too. That's why I don't put sovereign in the title, because then it will put sovereign, YouTube will put sovereign citizen in my description box. Even when I make it very plain, I don't want that. But that was knowledge right there. It was like, okay, I need to differentiate between what I'm talking about and anything related to that sovereign citizens movement. Knowledge, you want to have knowledge of everything as much as possible. Now you ain't going, I said everything, but there's still stuff. Like I always say, I can't explain quantum physics to you in Mandarin. But you might be in a position to learn quantum physics or Mandarin, so you might have to go there. You want to have knowledge to help you do what you need to do to be sovereign. It could be knowledge of your job or your business, of your environment, whatever you need to know. Now, you don't need to know everything, but here's a trick. You need to know how to get it. You don't need to know everything, but you need to know how to get it. If I need to know knowledge of something, I know how to research it. I know how to research it. I know how to look for the books, if necessary, know where to go, where to do what a sociologist would do, qualitative research. Be among the people who may be practicing a lifestyle I need to know about for whatever reason. Like, for example, with everything talking about the food prices and everything, a sovereign man will probably learn where to get food at a cheaper price, will probably learn where all the farmers markets are in his area. He would know where to get it. Like if I were to get eggs, I wouldn't buy it from a store. They cost too much. And there's a big political issue behind that. But I know where to find eggs with farmers markets and everything. They're a whole lot cheaper. I know where to look. And that's where I would go. That's where I would go, just for basic survival. Also having knowledge of stuff that, how to fix stuff around your house or something. That's very important. You have to look at that, like knowledge of everything that you need to get along and do the things that you need to do in order to stay sovereign. Like I said, you might not be able to know everything, but at least know how to find it. And you want to build that up. And then when you present it with something that's new, at least taking it in. And what I mean by take it in, of course, until you can explore it yourself. It's like somebody say something that's new to you. It's like, oh, okay. Let me look into that. That's very powerful. And that's how you want to think. That's how you want to do things. You want to build your knowledge base. Applied knowledge is power. And you need that in order to stay sovereign. Because if you don't have knowledge, at least of what you want to do, at least of what can keep you sovereign, you're not going to be sovereign. You're always going to be dependent on someone else. You don't want that. All right? So anyway, build your knowledge base, all right? So that's all I have for right now. Keep rising to become the sovereign man you are meant to be. Peace and blessings.